Well, welcome to NETT Day. So this is the 14th year that we've been hosting NETT Day. If you don't know, if you're new here, new to the college, new to the university. And this is a conference that focuses on the computer science realm of life and industry, and frankly, everything that we do every single day. My name is Jessica Mueller, and I am super grateful to be here today. I am running Business Innovation Advancement in Adult Ed here at the College of Business and Technology. And what does that title mean to you? It means that if you have, one of the elements is if you have a business idea that you're not quite sure if it's going to be feasible or manageable or financially sound, we run a 12-week course that takes you through all the steps of running your own business. It's called Become Your Own Boss. And it's a 12-week course within the center, the Business Innovation and Growth Center. And the center here on main campus is meets in a variety of different spaces and places, but right now I'm building out a physical space in the former parking office here. It's going to be a $2.5 million build out. Thank you to the state for financing that. And it will be a space and place for you to do co-working, conferencing, taking class, coming to professional development, etc. So if you're interested in that, I have a table in the other room. I won't be able to stay for questions today, but I'm in 167 in the business office. My cards are out there, and I would love to talk with you about joining the cohort. The next one will start the first week in February. So I'm happy today to sponsor this specific session, in part because of, obviously this is just great information to know and do. You know, there's a doing element of this topic that you should leave here and actually maybe even throughout, just start taking notes on your LinkedIn profile, start an account, right? I'm not going to speak. I don't want you to be distracted, but I'm just saying, start doing. And also Heather is a business owner, and I'll go into more of her details, but right, founding a company and walking through the startup of that and facing challenges and accomplishing achievements is not for the faint of heart. And there's a lot to be learned from people who have been doing that work. So if you want to have questions regarding her company, LuxBlocks, it would be a great opportunity to talk with her too about that. It's a very cool product. Think better Legos, and I think they would probably hurt less if you stepped on them, which I do at home. So anyhow, tested, right? You're like,
that's actually a commercial idea that we use.
Oh, perfect.
It was called the pain-free block.
Oh, look.
Alternatives.
Anyhow, so I'm here to introduce Heather, and Heather Acerra is a small business owner and group benefits consultant. She has over 20 years of experience in human resources, leadership experience, including compensation consulting. Also on that point, learn your worth, and we can talk later about that. Staffing and employment engagement, and training and organizational development. Heather is passionate about education and serves on the College of Business and Technology's Executive Advisory Board, and is the College Relations Chair for the Oak Brook HRA Board, Human Resources Association Board. She and her husband invented an award-winning educational toy called LuxBlocks, and founding a small business which manufactures and distributes domestically and internationally has provided her with firsthand experience of the challenges and excitement of today's economy. Today, Heather will discuss the elements of an ideal LinkedIn profile by walking through examples and review best practices on how to make the most effective use of the platform. And I will say too, it's always changing. So you got to it's always a process. I recently heard about some new changes they're doing, being able to recruit people. So thank you for being here. And here's a gift from the Big Center. So thank you for that. I'll leave it here for you.
Thank you.
And I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you so much.
I always love my northeastern bling. I have a ton of it. All right. Well, who here has a LinkedIn profile? All right, exciting. Well, I might ask some of you if you're willing to be a guinea pig as we go through this presentation. So one of the things I like to say when I give talks on various topics is some of what I'm going to tell you is pretty common sense. You can follow through. You can see the spaces that you need to fill out, but it doesn't always mean it's common practice. So we're going to give you some tips that hopefully will help you make your profile a little more successful. And we're going to look at some real life examples as we go along. Okay, so we want to cover today how basically LinkedIn is used, and you may know, but we'll go over some things that may surprise you, and what you can add to your profile, how to set up your profile to put your best foot forward in terms of your networking, which this is basically a professional networking site. Other things we want to cover are how to make yourself stand out. And we're going to talk a little bit about LinkedIn Learning, which is something maybe you haven't touched on yet, but it's another good resource that's available through this platform. So again, Jessica was kind enough to introduce me. This is sort of the top of my profile. We'll get into it a little more in depth, but I wear a lot of hats. As she described, I'm happily on your employer advisory board. I really love working with your students, and with the professors here. And as well, I'm a business owner, and I work as a benefits consultant, which is also known as a broker. That makes things a little bit challenging for me with regard to LinkedIn, because one thing I'll tell you is they don't allow you to have multiple profiles. When I was several years ago helping my sister with her resume, she was an artist, a potter. She also worked in insurance. And we made sure she had a couple different resumes, but that's not something you can do on LinkedIn. And so you have to be a little bit creative and kind of make determinations about what you want to emphasize. So what is LinkedIn? Obviously, it's a social network. It's a place for people to connect with people that they know and share ideas, but it tends to be different than Facebook. Tends to be a little more professional based, although I feel over time, over the last couple of years, it's become more like Facebook in some ways. Happy birthday, so forth. I believe you should keep it fairly professional. In addition to that, it's a job board. It's a place that companies can post their openings and candidates can apply to them. And it's also a recruiting tool. Now, having been in HR, and I have friends through my HR associations that are professional recruiters, and they love using LinkedIn to look for passive candidates. So you can put in search criteria if you have a recruiter's profile on here, and then identify some people that maybe haven't applied to your job, but that you want to talk to. The other thing that I want to talk about is the online learning platform capabilities. That's where you can learn online to enhance your skills. As well, organizations can use it as an LMS and do things more broadly across their employee base. Oops. So I want to talk about the anatomy of a LinkedIn profile. So I'm just going to click over here real quickly. So this is mine. I'll start with me. So as I was saying, my profile is going to be a little different than yours because presumably you're younger than me. So you're starting off in your career and you're trying to build that up, but I can just walk you through mine a little bit. So what you can see is I'm going forward. I'm choosing to go forward, even though I am a LuxBlocks business owner. My husband and I own that business. My company where I work as a broker probably wouldn't appreciate it if I was LuxBlocks forward on this, even though that's very important. So my husband is primary. He's primary with LuxBlocks. And so I choose to list it here, but I try to be a little bit careful about how I do that. So on here, I've got that I'm an employee benefits consultant. I'm basically a broker. So does anybody know what that is? What a broker is? Anybody want to take a guess?
Mediator.
A mediator? That's an interesting idea in some regards. That's all going somewhere close to that. Yes. What do you think? I'm a benefits broker, a group benefits broker. Yeah, no, I mean, those are brokers, but what I do is I actually help I help companies because if you've ever worked at a large enough company, they provide health insurance, dental insurance, things like that. Northeastern has that for their employees. So what I do is I help an employer be a better buyer of insurance. So because I had worked in HR, I know how to do that. What I do is I work with carriers. So you guys might have heard of Blue Cross Blue Shield, United Healthcare, all those. So what we would do is we would work with employers to help determine, what their objectives are. Are they most concerned with saving costs, or do they want to attract employees? And then we help them not only shop the business to get that coverage, but also help them decide, well, how much do you want to pay? What kind of design do you want to offer? So I just wanted to throw that out there so you can understand why I set this up this way. So I'm basically a salesperson. That's what a broker is, a salesperson that's selling my services. I choose because I don't want to be seen as a pushy person. And because I have that HR background, I call myself a consultant. So I said I'm an employee benefits consultant, choosing my words very carefully. I want to seem softer in my approach for that consultation that I offer at Cottingham and Butler. And you can see some of our Northeastern folks are there as my connections. They must know I'm here. And so this blue thing, text box, if you will, here indicates that what I'm interested in. I'm not going to log in here so you can see this, but that's an option where you can put what would you like to do? What might people contact you about? That's what it's showing there, is that I'm interested in providing services in this regard. Now, I chose to make my about statement very much about my company and what I do as a consultant, as you can see, talking about how I'm going to help. It's almost like a sales pitch. That suits me. That might not be best for what you guys are going to be doing, but you may want to do something similarly if you're looking for your first job, because this is an opportunity to kind of sell yourself. So if, for instance, mine says I'm a consultant, I'm going to leverage my background in HR to help you come up with some custom insurance solutions. But in your case, if you're a student who's just starting off, you've obviously had some work experience. You've definitely had some educational experiences. So this might be an opportunity for you to put that sales statement about hiring you, what you can bring to a company. So that's what I would do in that section if I were you. I would think about, what are you going to bring? What are you going to bring to someone? Why should they talk to you about a job? Have you guys ever done something like that? Who feels like they've got a good about statement? On LinkedIn? Yes. On your resume? Could you kind of just, I don't know, summarize it? What would you say? Just off the top of your head. Okay. No, it's okay. But you know what? This exercise isn't bad, because if you bumped into somebody on the elevator that could give you a job, have that pitch ready to go, be able to say. So what did I hear you say? I said, you're a leader, you're bilingual. Where do you want to work? You want to work for NEIU. So in what regard? In the business department. Do you want to be a professor, or you want to work in administration? Okay. So you want to sell your school into hiring you. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's just imagine that you want to pitch yourself to a different school. So in that case, what I'm hearing you say is you might put something in here. As administrator at NEIU, let's say you've done something, maybe you ran this, maybe you helped run this program. I will leverage my background with your university in helping assist students in developing their skills to be future business leaders. My bilingual background allows me to help bridge the gap between companies with predominantly Spanish speaking employees and our students, or something like that. So there's an opportunity right there. The other things that you want to think about is how you're going to post, because you want to be seen as someone that is interesting and that you have some things in common with people that you're going to want to network with. So we can look at some of my posts. Obviously, I was at a conference. So this was really important to me. I wanted to get people to come to my booth. So this is one of my posts. Hey, come check us out at the annual SHRM conference. Here's all these hashtags. So hopefully I show up on those feeds. Got a little picture of me and my coworkers who were there. And then thankfully I've got all these buddies that liked it, and then it shows up on their feed. So that's something that's important to me. As students, if you're organizing an event, why not use this for something similar? Hey, it's NETT Day. Come out and check us out. Meet with other business professionals. So that's something you could do there. Even if you're not a part of it, but it's something you're interested in, you can reshare other people's posts. Yeah. So these are some ideas. So what else? You've got comments. This is something you have to be really conscious of, and I always get ahead of myself in my slides, but remember, you're creating sort of an image with this, and your comments are going to be visible to whomever is checking you out. So just keep it professional. They're going to see what you like and so forth. It's not unlike a Facebook profile where you really want to be conscious of that. It's going to be visible. So then as we go down, you can see there's some of my employment experience. And again, for what it's worth, this is how I'm managing between sort of two careers, if you will. I've got the employee benefits consultant first, but then I list concurrently that I'm an owner. I'm the owner of LuxBlocks and I'm a co-creator. So I put that on there. I don't want to deliberately downplay it, but I have to be forward with the company that, I don't want them ever to perceive that my work at LuxBlocks is going to be a conflict. So that's why I put that first. So then I have some of my other jobs that I've had in HR. Obviously, education is important. I would include that. Now, in terms of education, I would not necessarily, let's say you're doing, for instance, an education degree and you pick up a couple courses at a different college other than Northeastern. Maybe you went to, I don't know, Oakton Community College, and you took a course or two there. I'm not sure I would list every institution. I would probably list the institution or the institutions from which you're most likely to get a degree. So in my case, I've got my bachelor's degree here and I've got my graduate degree. Any licenses that you may have, you could certainly list those. And then I like to list my Northeastern volunteering to show that I'm a active member of the professional community. Are you guys involved with any volunteering in your day? You are too? Yeah, that's another opportunity to show that you've got some leadership skills and build a community around that. So then there's a section where you could put skills, recommendations. Mine are really old. I haven't asked for recommendations in a while, but that's another thing to show. If you can get some people to testify that you're a good worker, I definitely consider doing that. And then really think about your interests too, because people they're going to make judgments about you based on what you follow. So again, you might want to be careful. I mean, you be you, but if you pick something that's particularly political or, something like that, that might turn someone off. So just be a little bit careful about that. All right. So I like to have fun. Is there anybody here who is willing to be a guinea pig and offer to show us their LinkedIn profile so we can talk about it? You will? Okay. And you are Luis? And what's your last name? Why are you not coming up for me? Did I spell it wrong? Yeah, no, come on up. Let's do it.
I don't know, some reason, sometimes my middle name doesn't pop up.
That one?
Mhm.
All right. Excellent. This is really great. Okay. So we have Luis's profile up here. He's been willing to be a guinea pig for us. All right. So let's start off with the photos. Why did you choose that profile photo? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I'm familiar with that. That's awesome. I appreciate the sentiment, but here's what I'm seeing. It's just too small on the screen. So I like the idea of, you're showing where you're at and terms of your affiliation with the TRIO program, someplace cool. But the disadvantage is I really can't see your face. It's too small. So as you clearly won't know, it's better if you can get something where you're up close, like some kind of a portrait. I would do that. And then the other thing that I might suggest is even though that's a cool photo, maybe consider doing something that's a little more solid colored for a background, so it's less distracting. So let's talk about this background photo. I think I know where that is, but what did you choose that for? Yeah. I like it. I don't see anything wrong with it. What I like about it is it's pretty, it's kind of subdued, it's not super busy, and it certainly represents where you are right now. So I don't have a problem with that. Does anybody have a background that they would like to discuss? Any ideas about what kind of background that you chose or why you chose it? Azil, what do you have? Yeah, that's another good one. Yeah, we'll check yours out soon. All right, so we've got the student at Northeastern there. All your connections about currently a business administration student at NEIU with strong communication skills, and I'm interested in advancing my career in retail management. I'm experienced in working with a variety of people and in a variety of environments. I think that's great. That's concise. What you're bringing to the table. Absolutely. Sounds good. So you've got some quotes of the day that you posted. Yep. Nice. Positive. He's a positive guy. Like that. Got your experience. I don't know. That's good. Does anybody have any suggestions for Luis? Anything he thinks missing at all? Yeah, absolutely. Oh, well, at this stage in your career, assuming most of you haven't had, and some of you may have, some of you may be working professional jobs already. I would focus on the more professional ones. However, I don't think there's a right answer to just say, it really depends. It depends on how you're trying to skew your profile, what you want to draw attention to. If you've had a couple part-time jobs at once, there's nothing wrong with that. That shows that you're a hard worker. So I guess it kind of depends on the image that you're trying to skew. It says to me that you're an involved student that's worked during school, which I admire, and that you would be someone to consider for hiring for a professional position. It's good. Yes. Would you? Yeah, I think it's a lot like a resume in that, yeah, there's certain things that should fall off once you kind of get out there on your own. So once you're out there, You don't need to put on the part-time jobs you held in college once you've had your first time professional job. Yes. Yeah, and I will connect with any of you guys. If you're from Northeastern, I love you guys. I want to support you. So yeah, absolutely reach out to me. So let's go back here. So we kind of touched on some of them. I like to say I always get out ahead of myself. So yeah, how do you stand out on LinkedIn? So I just want to make sure I cover some of our bases here. So again, I've already talked about a little bit about this, but you want to think about your differentiators and how you intend to stand out compared to other people. And if somebody was going to scroll through your profile, kind of what are the 7 to 10 things that you would want them to know about you? And how are you going to communicate that? You're going to communicate that through your about. You're going to communicate that through the positions that you highlight, your school, who you're liking. Be very conscious and utilize each of those different areas in order to say something about yourself and what you're interested in. And let's talk about leveraging your network. When you guys ask me if you want to connect with me, if I'll connect with you, I will, because it's NEIU, but I'm going to tell you something. I don't do that normally. I do because I feel a special kinship with this school. And this is why. I'm actually old enough to have been at a company when LinkedIn was kicking off, and they were literally going around to companies to try and get people to sign up for LinkedIn. So when I was at my insurance company and they were doing this, one of the rules that they told me was, do not link in with someone you don't know, because the value is that, at least at that time, this is someone I can endorse. This is someone, if they're in my network, I can, and you're looking for somebody, you see that they're linked to me, I can speak to that individual's character in some regard or their professional capabilities. That's kind of gone to the wayside, but I don't care. So again, you guys are the exception. I will link it with you because I believe in your institution. And I know I've probably met you through one of these type of events, but generally speaking, I choose not to. And since I'm a broker and people do reach out to me, a lot of people want to be a vendor partner with me. Maybe they're selling payroll system or something like that. They want to get in with me. And I'll say, you know what? I only connect with someone I've spoken with. Let's arrange a call. So it's not like I'm going to be difficult about it, but I also want to make sure that I have some knowledge of that person before I link in with them. All right. So connect with people, follow companies that you want to work for, work with. That's a great way to see what's happening in the news. If you happen to wind up in sales, that's another awesome thing to do, because if you follow the companies that you're interested in, selling something to, then you got something to talk about. You see that they just had a merger, you see that, they just had a layoff or something like that. Then you know what's going on with them. So definitely follow those kind of companies. Engage with the content that people post, people that you admire, people that you want to get close with. I mean, there's guys that I've worked with, I've done benefits proposals, and for whatever reason they couldn't move. I like their things online and that sort of thing. So they know I'm out there. They see that I'm a positive commenter and that kind of thing. And hopefully it makes them feel good and reminds them I'm out there. Also, as I said before, remember that people can see what you engage with and how you engage with it. So keep it professional. LinkedIn Learning, we'll talk about this and then maybe we'll have some time for a few more examples. LinkedIn Learning was actually an application called lynda.com. Has anybody heard of this? Yes. Okay. So Lynda was fantastic when it launched. It was new. The idea was you need to learn something, particularly technical skills. I want to learn how to do an Excel spreadsheet. I want to learn the basics of marketing, whatever it was. I thought it was fantastic. My husband used it a lot. He used it when he was teaching as well as when we launched LuxFlex. And then Microsoft, who owns LinkedIn, decided to buy it. Really, I think it's a pretty brilliant move because you have these networks of people who are in a professional space engaging. Why not, create this added value proposition? So through this added value proposition, you are allowing, for instance, someone who has less experience to actually get some familiarity with the subject matter they want to work in. So let's say you're looking to land a marketing job. Maybe you maybe you haven't had any courses yet in school, you could go online, find like a marketing 101 course and take it. It's a great way to gain some practical skills. It shows that you are willing to, you have a commitment towards self-improvement. And that can especially help for students if you're lacking in that experience space. So maybe you want to go into HR, but your school doesn't offer it. Maybe you go in and take a course in that. Now, you earn certificates. It's not, to my knowledge, at this time, it's still not, these aren't accredited courses. They tend to be smaller, they're online, that sort of thing. But some different accreditation programs like Project Management Institute and NASBA, they use this platform for your continuing education credits. So there is a legitimacy to it. Right now, I checked it out. Again, they often change their payment terms, or they change their subscription terms. Right now, they're doing a free monthly trial and then a monthly fee. And then some premium subscriptions will include a certain amount of courses. But I think it's pretty cool. And I will just say, when I was in HR, we were talking about adding a learning management system. If any of you do wind up going into HR, this was something my company seriously considered using as a platform for some basic leadership development training. So we would say, all of you need to take some of these courses that fit these descriptions, and then we could track it. They sell corporate subscriptions for that. Okay. So let's talk, I think now how long we have an hour, or how long do we go here today? 20 more minutes. Okay. So let's look at, let's pull up a couple more samples while we're here. So I think the best way to gain some insights is to look at these. How do you spell your name? You know what, I think it did an auto thing there. EL. All right. Haziel, why don't you tell us a little bit about you? You guys know Haziel? Does everybody know Haziel here? Haziel and I talked, we got a little bit in common because he is a founder of a company, which is fascinating to me. And why don't you tell us a little bit about you and why you set things up this way?
So I actually have a similar kind of challenge. I founded. So I'm in this weird stage where I've been there a couple months.
Yeah.
Weird because I have a full-time job that I also.
Exactly. You have to be so careful because it's all about impressions, and perception. So yeah, no, this looks great. I think I hear what you're saying. So you're at,
I just started working at a place called.
mhm.
It's the start.
No problem. Well, you've got a skills section and I would have to say that's probably, I don't know, the more experience we get, the less important that is, especially if you're a founder. It's like you're not selling yourself to somebody else. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I wouldn't worry about that too much. Flight instructor, cool. And see, that's the neat thing. So you're including things on here that don't relate directly to your day gig or your side gig. But that's the kind of thing, as you can see here, he's got this aviation aeronautical background. He's a flight instructor. So just putting interesting things about you out there. There might be somebody who is looking at investments and they see this and they're going to say, oh, hey, we have that in common. That's pretty cool. So I think that's kind of neat to include that there. All right. Let me.
The banner. It's just, it's a wallpaper.
Mhm.
And I didn't know.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. Do you guys have any questions for Haziel? All right, let me see if my son's is still available. Okay, looks like he's trying to get updated here. This is hysterical. So Garo knows the last time I talked to his class, we used Luke as an example. Okay, so this is my son, Luke. He's 26. He's a semi-professional cellist. He just finished a master's degree in cello performance. This is terrible. This is so outdated. He has no background. It's a nice picture of him, but it's when he was like 16. He's 26 now. He's got Lux Box on here. He worked part-time for mom and dad, like on the breaks, but this is not what he does. I mean, he's a cellist, he's a musician, he's a composer, he's teaching now, and that's all fine. What else? How many connections? He's got a big 11 connections. Don't do that. Actually, if you're going to have a presence, actually get it out there. Yeah, this is hysterical. That's what you call fluff. No, yeah, he was the sales and inventory manager. I mean, this is what you do, right? When you kind of inflate your background there. But yeah, so that's my son's. And then what's really funny is it looks like he started to make a new one, but it's very much not done because I'm looking here and now I'm a second connection for Luke A. Well, at least he's a freelance cellist, pianist, organist, music teacher, and composer. And yeah, gosh. So, yeah, he's 26. Yes. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, so that's what not to do. Don't start it and leave it out there and have two profiles out there. So anyway, that's my fun with that. Anybody else willing to put themselves out there? Yeah, you want to go? Okay, well, we'll get you next. All right. I'm sorry, what did you say?
I think a request.
You said a request? Already good. Okay. So if I go to my network, it'll be there. Okay. You come up here and you sign in. Yeah, come on up here. Let's take a look at yours. You're not a rune, are you? Okay, you come on up here. Plug it in. All right, very good, very good. Rana Deep Ready, Rana K. All right. Wow, this is nice. Look at you. Okay, we have a nice profile. It's got some color and some pattern behind it, but I don't find it terrifically distracting. I think that's nice. What does his background convey to you? What do you think about that? Computers? Studying? Smart, good with a keyboard, you good typer?
Basically, I'm a techie and I like workaholic. I'm a workaholic, so
Yes.
just want to update like saying to my audience or to people. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay. So I'm working all the time. That's why my keyboard is right there on my profile. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. And so let's see here. So you got a lot of Northeastern going on. Do you work here?
I work as student aid. Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. He's got a really great about, right? Let's look at this. Wow. Wow. So, but you know, what counts is the first paragraph. So like, it's like journalism, right? You want to put the most important stuff first to make you keep reading, right? So to leverage my extensive experience in DevOps to streamline and optimize software development life cycles, improve deployment frequency, and enhance overall system reliability. My goal is to implement best practices and cutting edge technologies to drive efficiency and innovation while also fostering a collaborative team culture that prioritizes continuous learning and growth. And then you have this certification,
Yes.
the DevOps engineer
I have
expert.
the top certification which I mentioned here.
Ah, that's wonderful.
This one.
So he's got it all right there. So if I am a recruiter and I'm looking for somebody with his skill set, I don't have to go far because he's got it right there. And normally I haven't seen that done before that way, but I like it, that's really getting it right up there. Now so what you've done, this was probably your resume, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, actually it's like my key skills which I have done in my past experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is so minor, but this is a little something if I may offer. So you say about to leverage.
Okay.
So that's not really, so that's usually objective. That's why I said, did you take it from your resume?
Okay.
So my objective is to leverage. About, you want to make something more of an affirmative statement. So something like a skilled op dev guy. No, I mean, what do you say? How would you describe your persona as it relates to this profession?
Person as in?
Yeah, like,
Profession?
yeah.
Like I said, DevOps
Say,
engineer.
like, tell me what you are. Say, I'm a
DevOps engineer, which works on cloud and DevOps products.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd start out with that
Yeah.
and then make the statements that really set you apart. So say things
Okay.
concise about what you are, and then all these great things that you did that prove that you're going to be able to deliver, for a company. So that's really good. So are you working in this regard now?
No, not in this role, but as a student job. Like right now, I'm like took a break. I'm doing my master's degree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then I'll continue back with my DevOps job again.
Wow, Hazil has a company that might need you. Who knows, right? Yeah, that's awesome. You guys connect with your peers too. You never know. All right, you got your student aid. So this was where you worked in
Yeah,
India.
this was my previous company.
All right, excellent. You got your licenses, your certifications. Oh my goodness, look how many he has. 25. I'm impressed. Wow, that's great. Yeah, I mean, I'd hire you. I don't even understand half of what you do, but that's awesome. All right. No, I think,
So this is my recommendation by my colleague. to me.
yeah, he's already got a recommendation on here. That's terrific. And he's from Germany too.
Yeah. He got promoted. He's working in the same project,
Uh-huh.
but he got opportunity in Germany and he went to Germany. He's my team lead.
Yeah. Wow. That's fantastic. That's impressive. I have to say, I really,
And my awards, my companies.
yes, he's got awards too. See, I didn't even put any awards on mine. Nobody's giving me awards. That's fantastic. Look at all that. Pat on the back award even. Oh, that's fantastic. So I think you can consult with everybody in this room. So if anybody has questions, he's here. I'm not. So talk to him. Rana Deep. He's your guy. Anything else you want to highlight?
No, and like my certification score, I also included. We can add so that we can like whatever the certifications I did.
This is great. Anybody else who's a techie, and this is NETT Day, he's got his scores in there too. So that might be something to put down there for your different certificates. Awesome. No, it's really,
And I think,
anything else you want to show us?
yeah, that's it.
That's fantastic. Good job. All right, thank you. You want to come up and show us yours? 10 minutes. All right, we'll keep it fast here.
That's me.
All right, let's check it out.
The photos from my sister's wedding.
Are they? That's cool. But you're dressed up. That's great. How do you say your name?
It's Faisal.
Faisal. Faisal Syed. Okay.
This is Faisal.
What's that?
I'll just sit down.
Sure, if you like. Yeah, that's fine. So this is good. This is very good. Look how professional. So Faisal's got this wonderful, he's got his suit on. He's ready to go to work, even though he was at a wedding. Nobody needs to know that. Nobody needs to know that. That looks terrific. Then you have your banner back here for Northeastern. So, okay. So if I see that, I'm going to know, oh, he's probably still in school, but that's okay. He's professional. He's ready to get to work. We've got, so funny, it thinks I work at Northeastern because I've got Northeastern on my profile. Oh, this is great too. So you've got a very developed about. As an emerging developer, I've consistently delivered results, driving client satisfaction and engagement. That's great opening sentence. And what have you done? I've optimized user experience by implementing HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, and JavaScript, as well as web. Yeah, this is really well written. Very, very good. Then he's got a top skills. So that's easy. It's nice. It's not too crowded. I can just kind of scan it and see that. And he's sharing, he's got his Master of Science. Very nice. It's kind of fun and positive. It's a post.
That's it.
That's, well, it's better than nothing. So, hey, nothing wrong with that. What else we have here? So we got a good post there. More great experience there. All that. Yes, go ahead.
My parents also work in. I would like to feature that on my profile, but I have no idea how to do it.
Let me ask you, so do you want to feature your experience with your parents' business?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I would probably put it in your, because you worked for them, you worked for the family business. I would just go ahead and include it in your experience. Yeah. Did you have another thought on that? Yeah, just add it to your experience. Any other questions? Okay, what about the rest of you? Any questions from this group? Are you guys all going to get out there and get your LinkedIn updated? Yeah, okay. And link in with me. I'll claim I know you, even if I don't. I don't, but that's just me because I figure it's kind of like getting a reference. Like you better not be dumb enough to ask somebody to be a reference if they're not willing to give you a good reference, right? So, I mean, it's good that you have them, but it's not that important to me personally as someone that might be hiring someone. What do you think? Yeah.
You know,
I think in your case, if you had some kind of an endorsement for if you're in a position at some point just to be, 100% on Car Wisely, maybe make it really Car Wisely centric and put some testimonials from users of your application. That's what I would do. And then my husband's is kind of like that. I know we're wrapping up. There's a really unflattering picture of him where like a post was stopped midstream. But he's all over. He's always all over the place. So he's really into natural design. This is one of his drawings. There's his photo, which is up close, but this is really not flattering there. But that's one of he was in a podcast. He's always doing podcasts and things like that. Yes. Well, yeah, I mean, anything you do or say can be public, so choose your subjects wisely. Yeah. 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 So that's kind of, you can see that what his is like. I'm not sure why I pulled this up other than to see.
the endorsement.
That's right.
the testimony.
I don't know if he, let's see here. Yeah, I guess he's not doing that. Recommendations, he hasn't done that. But he's appeared on other people's podcasts. So that's one of the ways he's getting the word out about Luxbox and what he does with design thought and art and science, bridging art and science, that kind of thing. All right, any other questions before we wrap up? Piece is getting cold. Yes, one more question. To make the transition. You know, I've been a career center director. I've done a lot of things in my life, and I could totally advise you from a resume standpoint. If you're going for a certain kind of job, anticipate what are the skills and competencies that they're going to be interested in, and then just emphasize anything and everything in your background that reflects what you anticipate that they want. So even if you've done music things, but you're going to go into a field that isn't directly related to music, think about the work you've done in music that has competencies that are transferable. Emphasize those things. That's pretty much what I would tell you to do. Sound good? All right, guys. Thanks for coming. I hope you have a great NETT day. Appreciate the opportunity to talk with you.